everyone, and welcome to the Theater of Football. I am Mike Hodem, and I'm joined by Patrick Heinrich. Hello, Patrick.
Hey, Mike. Hey, everybody. Happy to be here. I hope you're excited to be here.
What, me? I'm always excited to be here.
You and
our audience.
To you. Yes, to the audience.
Yes. I'm sure they're excited. Patrick, we'll review the Burnley match from a few nights ago, and we'll also preview the Liverpool match. But the big news today, former Manchester United player, like legend, captain Wayne Rooney, retired from his playing career and accepted a permanent management role with Derby County. And this comes on the back of, a week or two ago, Darren Fletcher got promoted from our academy up into the first team. And is now the third former United player on Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coaching staff after Carrick and Mike Phelan. But I want to focus on Rooney. No offense to Darren, I love him. He's my favorite player of mine. But Rooney is going into management. What do you make of that, and how do you think he will be as a manager? Do you think he'll have a good career as a manager?
Oh, I think it's such a toss-up, to be honest. But I think he will. I think he has the potential to be a good manager, and I think, just in my opinion, that with his experience, I think he has the capability to be a good manager. We'll see, though. I mean, it all depends how he adapts, but he certainly has. I would say kind of the fieriness that you need to be a good manager based on his reputation. So, I mean, he probably will, lay down the law, so to speak.
Well, you bring up a good point. I mean, I asked you, what do you think he'll be as a manager? And I mean, it's so difficult to tell because different personalities tend to excel. And then, and it seems like, I don't want to say it's a crapshoot because I know it isn't, but I would have thought Roy Keane would have made a great manager, and he hasn't. He has made a great pundit, in my opinion, but that's not really what we're talking about here. I wouldn't have thought Wayne Rooney would have been a good manager. I mean, when he was playing, he talked about that he wanted to go into coaching and be a manager and all that stuff. But I don't want to say I never took him seriously. He probably did. He does want to do that, but I never felt like he would be good at that. But I can't really say if he'll be a great manager. I can say this though. Derby sacked Philip Cocu, who he was serving as a first-team coach and player under. That was weeks and weeks ago, and he has been the caretaker manager since then. And right now they are 22nd in the championship, which is the last relegation spot or the first relegation spot, however you want to look at it. They're even with the team above them, which is I think Sheffield Wednesday. And Sheffield Wednesday is just above the drop zone. So they're not. It's not like they're going to get relegated or anything like that right now. But he does have a job in front of him to keep them. I think this season is just about keeping them in the league somehow, and it'll be interesting to follow that. I feel because him as a player has never really experienced a relegation battle.
That's true.
So I know he joined Derby last season, but they were mid-table, so they weren't really in that. It'll be interesting to see how he's able to hopefully progress and keep them in the league, and then kick on from there.
Yeah. Well, I know he certainly didn't face any hardship in the MLS, so.
Yes, we don't have relegation.
That's right.
Which bothers me, but
yes,
that's a topic for another video, Patrick.
Yeah, that we could go on and on about that.
Yeah, that's a topic for about 11 videos.
Yeah, for sure.
Patrick, let's look back. Tuesday night, we played Burnley, and we won 1-0 on a Pogba deflected volley.
Mm-hmm.
I was very pleased with what I saw. What did you make of the match?
I was pleased with what I saw, but it's still kind of frustrating that we can't put more points up against Burnley. That's a little frustrating to me. But
Goals,
what?
goals.
Yes, can't
Oh,
put more
goals.
goals up against Burnley.
Yes, because we beat them, so we couldn't put more points up.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we beat them. But I think again, it's like, another late deflection goal kind of saving us. I feel like we should have been more tactical, attacked a bit harder. And I think we should have put up a few more goals, in my opinion. I thought everyone played well.
Yeah, yeah. I liked what I liked about it was the players seemed up to it to me.
Yeah.
And you go to Burnley, and there's a cliche. It was, Bolton, Stoke. Now it's Burnley. It's difficult to
Yeah.
play it. You find out what you're made of at Burnley on a cold Tuesday night. Well, this was the cliche.
Yep.
And I thought all the players seemed up for it. And when you play Burnley, Burnley they're going to play well, people call it anti-football. It's just, hoofing the ball forward, trying to get your head on it and whatnot. They're going to play their physical game, and they want you to do one of two things. One, they want you to just completely crumble and they can just have their way from there. Or two, they want you to, if you rise to their physical challenge, they want you to kind of come down into the mire with them, if you will.
Yeah.
So I thought for 30 minutes, so start of the match until probably after that long VAR review, and I'm not going to get into that because I don't really feel the need to go down that road.
For sure.
I just thought that we were up for the challenge. We fit into that second slot. We were up for the challenge, but we were playing their game.
Yeah.
And I was on Twitter at halftime, and I guess one of the journalists I follow on there who's at the game said that Ole was down in the technical area and he was upset with the VAR reviews. And then he shouted out something like, basically, start playing football to the players.
Yeah.
And after that, I thought we finished the second half or the first half strongly. And in the second half, up until we finally got the goal, we played really well. Okay, maybe the final ball wasn't there most of the time. And when the final ball was finally there, the finish wasn't there. But I thought we played really well. And we did get a bit of luck, but I thought we deserved that luck.
Yeah. I thought we definitely deserved to win. Like that's for sure was what I was thinking.
Yeah, and I agree with you. You play not necessarily maybe difficult to go to Burnley. I understand that.
Yeah.
But you play these smaller teams, even Burnley. You want to beat them, and you hope to pad your goal difference. But at the end of the day, 3 points is 3 points, and I'll take that all day long.
Sure.
One player I do want to talk about, Paul Pogba, because his last two matches that he played, first of all, I called him out. Well, I don't want to say called him out, but before the Wolves match, or the Villa match, excuse me, where I thought he was the man of the match, and I thought he was man of the match against Burnley too.
Yeah.
The Villa match, I thought he rose to the challenge, but I didn't think it was a game for him. I didn't think the way Villa play, I thought we would need a little bit more tenacity in midfield. So I didn't think he would be the guy in there. Well, he played, and I thought he was tenacious. I saw him get deliberately elbowed in the mouth by Tyrone Mings. Made Paul bleed his own blood, and he got on with it. Ended up winning the penalty that Bruno converted, and was overall very influential throughout that match for us. And then against Burnley, he scored the goal, and it was a deflected effort, but I mean, he made good contact on the ball. He kept it down to get his luck. But throughout the match, he looked up for it. Like, he got challenged. He was, he'd draw a foul. Burnley player would pick him up. He'd slap him on the butt or, give him a high five or whatever. Yeah. He was smiling. He looked up for Burnley.
Yeah.
And that is something I did not expect. And I said before the match, I was like, he was carrying a knock, and Ole said that he needed a late fitness test. And I said on here, I was like, if he needs a late fitness test, let's just leave him out. We shouldn't need him for Burnley.
Right.
I still think we shouldn't need him for Burnley. We could have played
agree.
McTominay. still
Yeah.
had the height in there and the strength, but he made a difference, and he won. He was a match winner for us on that day. So
Yeah.
going into Liverpool, which I'm transitioning into, Patrick, what do you think? Do you think Pogba starts?
Oh, I think for sure Pogba starts.
that
I,
was easy, wasn't it?
that was a lead in. Yeah, no, I think for sure Pogba starts. I also think that we've seen kind of an attitude change, I would say, in Pogba's play. I definitely think I think he's enjoying it again more. I think he's having fun, like playing the game. And I don't know whether it was, just the weight of everything and the pressure weighing down on him over, the end of last season, beginning of this season, through games in the Champions League. But I think he feels like more relaxed and he's having fun. And part of me thinks, and I thought about this the other day, and I was like, well, is Pogba the kind of person that would, you know, hate the fact that there are other players that could replace him in the midfield really easily, as we're finding out with some of the other formations that Ole has used?
Mhm.
Or is he the kind of player that maybe feels less burdened by the fact that he has to be the midfield player and have so much hanging over his head? If you'd asked me that question like last year, I would have said, well, Pogba's going to hate the fact that he has to like compete for his position. But I wonder if it's the fact that, there's other people that can play his role now, and there's less pressure for him to be like the wizard of the midfield, and he can just play the game and have fun, and that relaxation is causing him to play a little bit better.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I mean, a lot has been made that he hasn't played every game
Right.
this season, and that's because, like you said, there's more competition for his place. I mean, Fred is, I think he's a great player.
Yeah.
McTominay continues to get better.
Mm-hmm.
You got Donnie, of course, who can drop and play his role.
Yep.
I thought he showed that in a man of the match performance against Watford
Right.
just a week ago.
Right.
Yeah, that's an excellent point. I see articles written in tabloids about how he's jealous of like Bruno because Bruno's playing where he wants to,
Mm-hmm.
and I actually don't think he wants to necessarily play most of the time where Bruno is playing further up the pitch. I think he's more happy sitting deeper, because when he has been deployed further up the pitch, you still see him drop deeper to try to get the ball and dictate play.
Right. Yeah.
Wow.
For sure.
So I think you kind of I think you made a great point that with the competition of places, I don't think he actually dislikes Bruno or is upset that Bruno came in and did what he did. I feel like he's less burdened by that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that it's funny because a lot of if that is the case, and again we're just speculating, but if he's feeling better about it and he's feeling like he's out there, he's having fun, he's actually enjoying playing the sport, instead of being under so much pressure that he makes a lot of really bad technical errors, like we've seen in the past. It's funny that then he becomes a better player, and then he probably makes a better competition for his position, to the point of when we see him on against Liverpool. I think you definitely will see him against Liverpool for that, probably for that reason. So it's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, right now I'd say the first three names in no particular order on the team sheet for Liverpool, assuming health, of course,
Right.
should be Bruno, Pogba, and Eric Bailly.
Yep, for sure. I think that's we're figuring out that there's the core up the middle, or not really up the middle because they don't play up the middle except for Bruno. But like if you think of like your forward, your mids, and your defense, then you have Bruno, Pogba, and Spy. There's kind of a perfect synergism to having that be kind of the core players. Now I'm not saying that I think those are the core of Manchester United, but they're quickly developing into kind of a really good backbone for the team.
Yeah, I mean, any great team I feel like has a strong spine.
Yeah.
And you look at Liverpool. Last year it was Allison and goal, Van Dijk, center back, of course, injured, Henderson, and then, well, I wouldn't necessarily go with Firmino, but then you got Sane and Mane, excuse me, Mane and Salah up top too.
Yeah.
So I mean, you got that really strong spine that's difficult to play to deal with. And if Pogba is playing, is it seems like Pogba is better. Like it's just better when he's enjoying his football.
Right.
So he seems to be enjoying it the past few weeks. If he's enjoying it, that's bad news for the other team.
Mm-hmm.
And Bai is back in. He seems to be happy that he's finally putting a string of games together and showing that with his performances. And he's probably very happy as well.
And he can get injured and put in a good performance like he did against Burnley.
That's true. So yeah, you got Bai, Pogba, and Bruno, and well, De Gea. Jury's still out, in my opinion, right now on him. But I mean, you got whether it's De Gea or Henderson, it's okay.
Yeah,
I think it's all right. So yeah, I mean, you got a strong spine, and then you bring in Cavani, who I thought was a little bit in the first half, a little bit. I don't want to say he wasn't up for the Burnley match, but he just looked a little bit irritated, which is how I thought when I last saw him against Everton. He looked irritated. And I think I kind of feel like it may be due to the off the field crap.
Yeah.
But hopefully that's behind him now and he can just focus on playing. And that's a good topic, Patrick. Cavani, do you think he'll start on Sunday?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think he'll start. I think he'll be obviously on the bench, but I don't think he'll start.
Yeah.
I think we'll start with Martial up front.
Yeah. So you think do you think he'll play with the 4-2-3-1?
Yeah. Yeah. I think he'll play with the 4-2-3-1. I think he'll have Martial up front. I think he'll have Rashford on the left. I wouldn't be surprised if he starts Greenwood.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't see him starting Greenwood.
Oh, really? Okay.
I think he'll start. I think he'll play a 4-2-3-1 as well, but he'll do. Oh, I forget what game it was, but I think I kind of feel like he's gonna. And I don't think this is the right call if he does it, but I feel like he'll play Pogba on the left, but he'll play on the left, but he'll have license to roam, and then he'll have Rashford on the right, and then Martial. I agree that I don't think Cavani will start. I don't know if that's the right call or not. I feel like that's the wrong call based upon Liverpool's injury issues. I think I'd rather have the experienced number 9 in there in Cavani because I think he would give them fits. But yeah, I kind of feel like he's going to play Pogba on the left and start Martial through the middle.
Yeah. Well, he might start Martial and then hold him and see what happens, and then make the switch. Like I assume, depending on how it's going, he'll probably make the switch. If we're down, he'll probably make the switch. If we're up, we'll probably make the switch.
Yeah, if we're down, hopefully he makes the switch sooner rather than later, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if we're up, he'll probably make a switch late in the match, last 10 minutes or so.
Stoppage time.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not quite that late, because I can't stand a stoppage time substitution. But yeah, I mean, if we're down, hopefully he makes it. I mean, if you can see, I mean, it depends, of course, when the goals are scored and all that stuff. But yeah, hopefully he would give Cavani enough time to make an impact.
Yeah, I agree.
Patrick, before we close the curtains on this, I want to get your prediction on the score. What do you think?
I'm thinking it's a 1-1 draw.
I can't believe you said that. Every week we get on here and I ask you for a prediction, and we always tend to agree. That's terrible. That's terrible viewership.
It's only been the last couple episodes, though.
Yeah,
I think.
That's
true. It'll be a 3-0 victory to United. The first 3 goals are going to come in the first 22 minutes, and then we'll just coast the rest of the game.
No. Patrick said 1-1 draw, and Mike's gonna go for a draw too, but he'll go for a 2-2.
That's respectable.
I've decided it'll be open. I feel like we've done these and against teams that have conceded a lot, and we think there's going to be all these goals, and then or conceded and scored a lot. And we think there's going to be all these goals, and that doesn't happen.
Yep.
Liverpool have struggled to score goals in the last few matches.
Yep.
So, including, in my opinion, against Aston Villa's under 18 team in the FA Cup. I mean, they're 1-1 at halftime,
Yeah.
and they didn't really look too threatening in that first half outside of the goal. They ended up winning 4-1, but yeah, they're struggling to score goals, especially in the league past few matches. So
For sure.
I feel like we'll go in the opposite direction and say 2-2.
All right.
I won't say who scores them because,
We don't want to get that specific.
yeah, I don't.
There's some intrigue, obviously.
Whenever I try to bet on the goal scorers, it doesn't turn out well for me.
Ooh, who would you predict is going to shine and be the man of the match against Liverpool?
So Pogba.
Nice.
No, I'm gonna go back to my old standard and say Fred. If Fred
Okay.
starts, he'll put in the United man of the match. Hopefully, it'll be good enough to be man of the match.
Perfect.
What about you, Patrick?
Can't wait. I'm gonna say it's gonna be Rashford. I think he's gonna be the man of the match. I think he's gonna be instrumental.
I was actually thinking about him earlier, and with the thoughts of that, I think that he could do something at Anfield.
Yeah,
I don't know what that something will be, but he could do something.
he could indeed do something. He could take one step and then another step, and then do that in quick succession, back and forth for 90 minutes.
Without ever touching the ball.
Without ever touching the ball. Hey, that's skill. If you avoid the ball that much, that's skill.
Yeah, he'll be a regular Timo Werner.
No, that's just a magnetic repulsion to the ball. Your foot bounces off the magnetic field into the flag.
Yes. I had already forgotten about that. Thank you for bringing that back to my attention. Yes, I'll have to watch that again tonight.
Well, I'll do that anytime you want me
to. But I want to thank Patrick for joining me. The curtain is now closing on the Theater of Football. Thank you, Patrick.
Thank you, Mike.
And thank you all out there for listening or watching on whatever platform you're listening or watching on. And to enjoy the football this weekend. Hopefully you'll see, Rashford do something on Sunday. And hopefully that something will be putting the ball in the back of the net.
At least more than once.
All right, everyone, take care.
All right, cheers all.
Oh, hello. Thank you for watching the Theater of Football. If you think Mike got it wrong yet again, please leave your thoughts in the comment section below.